you think that the classic bodybuilding can potentially become something like we've seen Dorian Yates win 6 Olympias. We saw Lee Haney win 8. We saw Ronnie Coleman win 8. We saw Phil Heath win 6. These are things that we've witnessed in the past. Iris Kyle's won 10 Olympia championships. Are you a guy that could potentially be one day mentioned as a 5-time classic physique Olympia champion? Or is it such a brand new division that maybe this is a title that might change hands because the judges want to see different looks from the bodybuilding side?
Yeah, I think, they have, they chose me for the first one, so supposedly I'm, have all the factors they're looking for, but definitely it's apples and oranges, There's guys that are taller with different physiques that are still classic. So for me, it's about improving every year, and if I can improve every year, I'm going to keep going. I know I'll win another Olympia. I'm pretty confident in that because of the level I'm already at and what I can already do and I've proved to myself and the support group I have around me. But I don't really mind. I'm not going to lay down for anyone is what I'm saying, but I wouldn't mind another athlete having it, because I just think it promotes this category in the sport, better. Like Breon, I think he would be a great ambassador, another Arash, and just a lot of guys out there.
It's interesting that you say that being the champion, because me and Kevin Levrone and Flex Wheeler, we've all got these arguments that how much more fun the sport of bodybuilding could have been if they had given Labrada a championship, or Muhammad McAway or Lee or Flex, and it changed and it would have made it a little bit more interesting. So this is something where, as a champion, you're saying that it might be a little bit more exciting.
No, and I think part of it is because I am the first one. I've already won one. It's more than I ever expected from the sport. Now I'm an ambassador for it. And for me, it's not about being selfish. I've already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in the sport. Like I said, for me to improve, is for me always first, not about the trophy, but about what I could potentially do with my physique before I retire. And that's where I'm getting at. So I'm still excited about the sport. Whether the judges want to reward me or not, I'm still cool with that. I'm going to place high. I'm confident with that.
What has it done for you with that big freaking medallion across your chest here in terms of the travel, the interest, the resurgence of becoming Danny Hester all over again on a national, international scale? Yeah,
like you said, the social media wasn't there when, we were kind of in our heydays. Back in the 90s, I did a lot of covers, not even being a pro, but just being marketable. I had contracts with Weider. I did all their home equipment and all the boxes. For 4 years I had a contract with Weider, and a lot of people assumed, you have to be a pro to make big money, but I was doing well, and I also, was a correction officer and RN, so I had a lot of things to fall back on. And I think that gave me a little confidence to go ahead and pursue, the training and the fitness and everything. But it was the magazines where people really knew you unless they came in here too, right. Or if you were in the core market. So nowadays with social media, you don't have to necessarily know everything about bodybuilding. You could just know the physique you like, mm-hmm. And that's what makes it really interesting, because I have people that used to be just, kind of buff guys that would know who I was and want to take pictures. Now it's everybody I can be in the supermarket, yeah. And they have, a little bit of tone on them, and they know who I am. So it's really cool, but it also allows me to make requests, guest posing and stuff. I've been doing that with my wife, and I probably would have never gotten that opportunity because, I would put that stipulation on, and everyone seems to love it, when I perform with my wife. So that's kind of the gig we're doing now. We're traveling and stuff, and, she's a singer, and it's kind of a blessing to have her do her passion combined with mine. And, for me, it was always about the posing aspect of it. Was one of the biggest reasons I loved competing, the camaraderie and everything, and getting yourself in the best condition rather than just say, I want to get in shape for the summer pool party. It's a whole different level when you have to go on stage and you're competing, at that level. You have to really discipline yourself, and you need that push, or you're not really going to know how far you can push yourself if it wasn't for competition. And the other part of it was the posing. That was just as, for me, as important. I love posing, I love martial arts, and I think that has a lot to do with just the beauty of the body and condition and in shape. and the movement of it. It just like sometimes I get really emotional when I'm in the posing room, and some days I'm just so on. I'm like, man, the transitions and everything. I should have recorded this. You know.
Well, it's definitely an art form that is coming back. Breon spoke passionately about it. He was an artist, and it seems like you haven't lost the idea that the sport is an art and presentation is very important. And we're looking forward to coming back to Las Vegas and defending that title. What will you do personally to try to be a better version in 2017 than you were in 2016?
I think just improve my social media, you know, just put a little bit more information out there. I know the fans like that kind of information. I see a lot of the athletes doing that, and it motivates me, you know, and videos are always better. I'll tell you, you know, sometimes with the pictures, you can take 100 pictures and get the best one and post it, and, you know, that doesn't necessarily really tell you, like, how they really look, because that surprised me a little bit, I have to say, when it came to backstage at the Olympia. You know, it really kicked my butt to see the guys that look great on social media in their pictures, and then when it came down for showtime, I was like, okay, I could relax a little bit now. You know, I do have to say the only one that I knew, because I saw him all the time, was Breon. He looked amazing. So if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have kicked my ass as much as I did.
I can tell you, he's gunning for you, that's for sure. But we're going to see more of Danny Hester this September in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Mr. Olympia weekend, where the classic bodybuilding is going to be the talk of the town. It's one of the more competitive divisions, and if I remember correctly, I mean, you can be this tall and this short, correct?
Yeah, there's guys that were 6 foot, and you just have to meet the height-weight ratio. You know, they bumped it 5 pounds, and I don't mind if they bump it, actually, to be honest, another 10 pounds. Because as long as they have that weight-height regulation, it's never going to get into the monster area. Because, so you know exactly the proportions, and it'd be interesting to see where the weight, and they might even go up, you know, 15 pounds, and then decide, you know, a few years later to come back another 5 pounds. Right. So, you know, you got to see how the bodies look and the aesthetics of it at what weight, because some people have bigger bone structures, some people have smaller bone structures. Right. So that height-weight ratio sometimes isn't necessarily the best factor, but for right now, it definitely will limit them as far as, you know, the quality and the aesthetics of everything.
Well, no question, it is a division that's under construction, and right now leading the charge is the reigning champion, Danny Hester from Venice Beach, Gold's Gym, California. I'm Sean Ray, MuscularDevelopment.com.